One of our major themes for investment is the affordable housing crisis that we have in this country. So we looked at manufactured housing, and in terms of our traditional value-add business plan execution, we could buy an existing community, improve the facilities, the driveways, et cetera, and then push rents on the existing tenants. But that was really antithetical to our thesis of creating more affordable housing. And having conversations with our listed securities team, again, we got a crash course in manufactured housing, what to look for, and got really educated and realized there was an extreme shortage of supply, a ton of demand, but not enough new communities being developed. So we decided that was the best approach, was to create more affordable housing communities and be a development equity partner in creating those communities. So we think it's really interesting, and it's a high conviction thesis of ours. Maybe we should step back before we kind of dive into the investment we've made. Tell everyone what a manufactured housing community is, especially how it operates, how you lease it up. A lot of people have images when you say manufactured homes.
Yeah. So manufactured housing community is not what you think of when you typically come across some of these mobile home parks, trailer parks. These are brand new communities that are recently developed, a lot lower density than you're going to see from some of the existing product. You also benefit from Class A amenities that you would see in a traditional apartment complex. And then you also have the renters leasing the lots. So it's almost in the form of a ground lease. And they get a bite at the apple to be able to actually have some home ownership. So they're purchasing their homes to bring on site.
So when you look out at some of these communities, they're not right on top of each other. They look and feel like almost like a villa of cottages where there's space, and that, maybe tell us a little bit about the sizes of these homes, like how many bedrooms, et cetera.
Yeah, so most of these homes can be anywhere from a 2-bed, 2-bath up to 4-bedroom plus, and their home sizes are very similar to what you would see in a single family home. These can be 1,500 square feet up to 2,000 square foot plus.
All right, so one thing's different in terms of manufactured home community. We develop the land, we charge lot rent, but do we own the homes? Who owns the homes? How does that work?
Yeah, so in our investment thesis, we actually have all of our homes purchased by the tenants. So we don't have any park-owned homes, as it's called. That is consistent with 4- and 5-star standards based on the agencies in terms of having limited park-owned homes.
And how do the residents access these homes? Where do they buy them, finance them, and maybe educate us on that process of how they get to the site?
Yeah, so it's a lot of marketing up front to make sure people actually know our community exists. But once they've identified the community, they'll go and pursue some of these dealers. A lot of these dealers are local to Houston, for example. They'll have sample homes that some of the renters can actually take off the lot and deliver to our community. Other times they will actually order them. So these homes are actually manufactured in a facility and then delivered and installed on site.
So I guess compared to a multifamily, so you have a similar floor plan layout of a multifamily, but if you're renting at an apartment community, you can't really customize your unit.
Right.
I guess if you're buying an entry-level home, you could add some certain features and customize, but that's much more expensive than a manufactured home. So maybe walk us through that process, how you can customize your finishes and other features, and the relative pricing compared to entry-level home purchases.
Our community renters can actually customize a lot of the different aspects within the home. So they can customize the flooring, even the cabinet colors, carpet, whether they want that or not in the bedrooms, and even their appliances that they're getting in their appliance packages.
Okay, that's very interesting. And they can add storage or even, sounds like, parking porte-cochees if they want.
All of the sites that we have actually have a driveway, so they can accommodate 2 parking spaces, and then we also have the ability to add storage. As we know, even though our homes are pretty sizable, a lot of these folks still need that outside storage unit. So that's a part of the park package that they can customize.
Okay, really interesting. So you kind of get a home-like feel, good quality finishes that you can customize. You're paying lot rent, but you own a home, and that's yours. And maybe give us some color on any historical data. Someone buys a home, they put it on the lot. Are they pretty sticky? It's pretty expensive to move one of those homes,
It
right?
is very expensive. So the stat is that 97% of homes that get installed on a site never actually move from there.
And so you're comparing it to amenities, for example, kind of the best of both worlds. You get some home ownership and the space of and a feel of a for sale home type community. We also get the amenities of a Class A multifamily community in terms of the quality of the developments that we're working on. Yep. Can you maybe walk us through some of the amenities?
Yeah, so at Piney Woods, we'll actually have various amenities similar to Class A apartments. We have a really nice swimming pool, a clubhouse that tenants can actually rent out a portion of the clubhouse if they want to host events. We also have a dog park, a soccer field for some of the families that'll have children there, and then we're also planning to have tutoring programs on site for the families that live at the property.
That's a great segue. So we had our thesis that we wanted to develop these communities. We got educated about what kind of features we wanted, what sort of markets we wanted, locations. Maybe walk us through Piney Woods. What did we like about that location? Some unique, the high quality 4-star, 5-star, just some of the unique advantages of that site.
Yeah, so Piney Woods is located in Crosby, which is a submarket not too far outside of Houston. It's about 20 miles from the CBD. Okay. That was a big factor in deciding on that specific location. Just you're typically going to find a lot of these sites are going to be out in the boonies. Yeah. So the fact that it was close proximity to the CBD and some of the major employment drivers. We're also very close to the port, so you're catering to the workforce type housing, blue collar workers that are looking for an affordable alternative. The entry-level homes in the site just south of us is getting developed right now. Those are anywhere from $275,000 up to $375,000 a home, versus our homes, those can range anywhere from $90,000 a home to maybe $175,000 to $200,000.
Yeah, if they're the full customized.
Exactly.
Yeah, excellent. All the bells and whistles. So we're talking about affordability. So when you look at these investments, you analyze the all-in cost, right? There's the cost to buy the home, the financing, the lot rent they pay to us as the owner of the community. How does that compare relative to the cost of home ownership, or even just the cost of renting a comparable quality 3-bedroom apartment, for example?
Right. So we estimate our all-in cost to be plus or minus $1,800 to $2,000, and it's going to depend ultimately on the home that you end up getting, and that's all in mortgage plus taxes, insurance, and the lot rent that they're paying.
That's the monthly full-in.
Exactly.
Payment. Okay.
That compared to new Class A apartments in the area, that can be upwards of $2,400 plus. So you are getting a significant discount, and you're getting more space effectively, which is what we're targeting. We want folks to feel like this is a single-family home alternative.
Yeah, it's fascinating when you see developments in process, and you see what was a piece of dirt with trees, et cetera, on it become a community that's really coming together, and being able to at CenterSquare be a part of the solution for the affordable housing crisis in the country, and not having to sacrifice quality for affordability. So I'm really excited to see how this leases up. There seems to be a ton of interest, which is great, and again, very happy to be in this space, and I look forward to coming back when it's fully leased, and maybe we can participate in one of the community soccer matches on that field there.